We just finished installing solar and a battery on a townhome where the association actually owns the roof. So let me show you how we did it. But first, if you live in a townhome and you try to get solar in your house but did or didn't get approved, I'd love to hear the story down in the comments down below. One, just because I'm curious, and two, to educate people on maybe some issues that you ran into that I didn't cover in this video. You might be surprised to learn that you can install solar on most HOAs and most townhomes in California, and that's because of the California passing the Solar Rights Act. And one of the things it includes is that HOAs can't prohibit you from going solar. Now, they can put restrictions on how they allow solar, what things they allow, or some aesthetic reasons around getting solar, but they cannot stop you from adding solar. Some HOAs are going to say that you can't have solar, but by law, they cannot stop you from adding solar. Now, there are some things that make it easier for you to get qualified for solar and for them to approve it than others. For example, if you own your roof, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Normally you just have to submit a design showing where the panels will be and where the batteries will be, and normally it's approved and it's just super simple. But even if you don't own your roof, there are still ways that you can get solar with these HOAs. So for example, on this customer that we just installed, they didn't own the roof. The actual association owns the roof and takes care of the maintenance and re-roofs if they need to, and kind of covers all of those leaks or any issues that happen with the roof. But this customer was still able to get solar. And these were the things that we had to do to get this one approved. So the first thing we had to do was submit our certificate of liability insurance. That's just for the HOA, so that the HOA wasn't responsible for anything that happened while we were doing the work on the house. The second thing was they had to have an approved permit. Most HOAs just ask you to submit the permit and show that you had the permit submitted. This HOA actually wanted an approved permit before they would approve anything. The next thing, we had to show the engineering design. That's pretty standard. Then the homeowner had to get approval and a sign off from eight neighbors. Anybody that can see the solar panels, that they were okay with it. And then the last one was a maintenance and indemnity agreement. That document states that the homeowner is now taking over responsibility for that portion of the roof. Now the HOA will still cover the re-roof. They're gonna still re-roof the roof along with all the other roofs on the, on the townhome. But the homeowner has to cover taking off the panels and reinstalling the panels, as well as covering any damage that came from the actual panels themselves. And the homeowner was okay with that, so we submitted everything, got it approved. We did have to change the battery location from the side of the house to behind the fence because the HOA did not want it out where, like next to the sidewalk. So we put it behind the fence. And that was the only thing that HOA asked us to change. And it actually ended up being a pretty smooth process. So if you live in a townhome, ask your HOA what their requirements are for solar. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments down below or reach out to me on my email that's in the description down below.